And book actually is ebook. So, everyone should feel very, very proud of themselves. But tonight what we're going to do is we're going to launch this book because it is an incredible book. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box. Please don't unmute yourself to ask the question. Pop in the chat box. It is being monitored and they will be answered before we finish tonight. So that's good. Well, I say tonight because for me it's 7 o'clock and is for any as well. It's the rest of you are still enjoying the afternoon, so that's quite good. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box. And we're also going to have 3 raffles. So there'll be 3 prizes that you can win. I haven't got the information yet, but I think one of them is a car. I'm not quite sure though. Everyone's just gone, what? No, it's not a car, but there are some great prizes. And you need to be here at the end because the last raffle at the very end is amazing. But you have to be in it to win it. So you've got to be here at the end. So we'll try and keep it as enthusiastic as we can because this information tonight is absolutely really, really powerful. So who am I? I've got to introduce myself. That's okay. My name's Ian Harvey. I've been involved in motivation, leadership, success stories for around about 40 years. So I was told when I left school, get yourself a proper job. And I did. I didn't get a job, and I've never actually really looked back. So I've been in this industry for a long, long time. I know a few people on here already. What I do know, though, is after all that years of experience, when I see a good book, I see a good book. And this book, I'm absolutely delighted to endorse because it's absolutely amazing. So don't just buy a book for yourself, just tell everyone, send them the link out to the book if you have to. Send the link out, say, you need to buy this book. It could change your life. Because I guarantee tonight someone's life's going to get changed. Absolutely guarantee it, that's for sure. Right, okay. First up, we have Karen Palmer, and she's going to open up with a prayer. So Karen, are you around?
Yes, I am. A pleasant good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? Awesome. Let us pray. Oh, kind and heavenly, merciful, most compassionate Father in heaven, we come before you to give you thanks and praise for sparing our lives to see another day. And Lord, we just want to thank you, dear God, because you just prove over and over that we can do all things through you, oh Christ, who always strengthen us. Lord, we thank you for every person present on this line. We thank you so much for all who will be attending. And we thank you, dear God, for this book, oh God Almighty, that you have blessed each and every author with, dear God, in order, dear God, to write and to make a change and to change people's lives. So Lord, help us that always, that whatever we say or do will be of you. We thank you and we will forever give you all the honor, the glory, and the praise. Bless everyone on this platform today, Lord. You know each and every one of us by name and by nature. And bless, oh Heavenly Father, all our families, relatives, and friends, and our loved ones. Keep us, oh God Almighty, in your tender care. And we thank you in all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yes, thank you, Karen. That was very meaningful. Well done. Thanks very much. What a great way to start. Absolutely wonderful. What we're going to do is we're going to hear from all 20 authors tonight. So I'm just going to do a quick line to introduce them. We're not going through their bio. They'll just talk a little bit about themselves, and they're going to talk about their experience they've enjoyed through putting this book together. So you are really in for a fantastic show. First up, though, we have Danita. Danita, are you on the call? Okay, I can't see her.
Hi, it's Danita.
Oh, hi. Yeah, so welcome to the call. This is going to be incredible. Just a small bit about her is she helps humans live lives of fun, freedom, and fabulousness. And she helps people with various conditions from anxiety, depression, and addiction. I'm not going to say any more because she has to do this herself because she'd be far better than me, but the stage is yours.
Thank you, Ian. Well, first of all, congratulations to all the co-authors. Thank you, guests, for coming. Denise, you are a godsend. So I just want to say thank you. And I want to talk about a little bit about my experience writing this Becoming Dynamic book. I had 1,000% resistance. I'm a New York City girl. And in third grade, I had a tutor for reading comprehension. So in my mind, I don't read, nor can I write. And I kept that belief on till this day. And when I was asked and invited by these beautiful women and Denise to write my anthology of short story, I didn't show up. And she kept chasing me. She says, no, you are dynamic. And I questioned myself during the journey. Am I really dynamic? And what do I have to offer? And so, oh, my New York accent just came out. So I wanted to, and I actually did it. So this experience for me has been absolutely life-changing. The title of my story is Dear Haiti, Because of You, I Am. And it was about my little girl going to Haiti and learning her culture at age 8 and the impact it had for me for the rest of my life. And so I am honored here today to be part of this anthology. Denise, thank you so much. Co-authors, sister friends, we all met at a retreat, which was so beautiful here in the Bahamas. This is where I am now, about to do another retreat. So congratulations to all. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And what a good way to start off. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's great that you're actually tuning in from the Bahamas. That's like amazing, because in the UK today, it's a bit hot again, but nowhere near as hot as where you will be. However,
I'll send you sunshine, my friend.
Oh, okay. I am told that next week it's going to get even hotter. So we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so next up we have Denise. Now, Denise and I know each other for a while. She's super dynamic. She helps people, and many people have referred to her, take an idea to become a book. You know, it's something that I don't have the skills to do. We all have to recognize we have different skills. I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm being honest with you, but I pass people over to Denise and she just does the magic, and gets everyone out there. And the book she has produced alongside people is absolutely phenomenal. She is an absolutely inspirational, insightful, transformational speaker with the gift of telling stories. And it's quite interesting because I actually did a few launches with webinars when she was first getting going and what have you. And her story was so powerful. It was unbelievable. It even got me thinking, should I write a book? Now, that would be a disaster, I have to say. But anyway, she got me thinking. So, Denise, it's over to you. Oh, you're on mute, Denise. You're on mute.
Thank you so much, Ian. I really appreciate you. And I thank each and every one of you for showing up for us today. Good afternoon. And thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to Becoming Dynamic Book Launch and for the support you have given us throughout this journey. Please type in the chat where you're joining us from, because I know there are women from all over this world. Where are you joining us from? Type in the chat. Let's see. Where are you supporting us from? Okay. Charleston, Huntington Beach, California, Texas in the house, Chicago, the Bahamas in the house, Jamaica, I see you. Bruh. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for joining and for coming and bringing your energy. I really appreciate you. I gotta drink some water. Thank you so much. So I had the pleasure of putting this anthology together. I'm so excited and thrilled and grateful and humbled because I have gotten so much support. And I am so grateful for the outpouring of love that you brought here and that you have been given to me and this group. The journey of creating this anthology, it has brought on a range of emotions for me. And among all of those emotions, I'm feeling proud. I'm feeling proud because I know my journey and my transformation. So it's important for me to just take this moment in. This healing has broadened my opportunities to be great. And there's greatness in each and every one of us. There's greatness in you. And sometimes we know that but because of the stories that others have told us, and sometimes the stories we've told ourselves, we hold ourselves back and diminish our greatness. But today, I want you to tap yourself on the shoulder and say, girl, you got some greatness in you. And today, I'm going to tap myself on the shoulder and say, girl, you got some greatness in you. When you have support, when you have love, when you have opportunities, you can be so much. The sky is the limit. And so today, I'm feeling proud. If you begin to work on yourself, your dreams will come true. Can you imagine where you'll be a year from now? You'll be on a journey of becoming dynamic if you start today. Many of you here, you know me and you know that I started out as an emotional wreck. You know that I started out as a teenage mother, and that has been one of the biggest blessings of my life. My son, Adrian Nicholson. I am so grateful that I had all the support and all the love so I could choose to have my baby and take the path that I needed to become this dynamic woman that I am today. Yes, I claim it. I claim it. I believe it. I was clinically depressed and suicidal. And you may have been down that road before because you know how painful and disruptive this season can be. And we've all had seasons that make us dread the night and yearn for a new day. A day that will leave overwhelmed and hopeless behind us. You've been there before. Some of you are in that season right now. Many of you, you are in this season and you don't know what to do. You don't know what steps to take. It was during my darkest season, my coldest season, I reached out to my pastor. Reach out for help. You never know where the answer lies. And for me, that answer lies within. My pastor said, Denise, in order for you to find the joy and peace you say you want, you have to let go. You have to let go of the hurt, let go of the pain, forgive these people that you say have hurt you, and work on yourself. Now, you know I was mad. What you mean? They did these things to me. This happened because of them. I didn't do anything. I'm a victim. And that's what I was telling myself. But I took my pastor's advice and I began to work on myself. And it was during that season of working on myself, Lisa Nichols was introduced to me. She has been instrumental in my healing, in my growth, and in my transformation. Thank you, Lisa, for all that you are. And a special thank you for the role that you played from the conception of this anthology. Your greatness is appreciated. Thanks to the contributing authors. You guys did it. Thank you. Thank you for your transparent, your vulnerability, your resilience, for your triumphant, inspiring experiences. I couldn't have done it without your yes. Ian, thank you again for always saying yes to me, even if you have to turn off your pot last minute and be like, Denise, you mean tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. Not for this occasion, but for many others. Thank you, Ian. You all said yes today. You said yes because you believe in us. We don't take that lightly. Thank you. You believe that if you showed up and support us, we will be Amazon #1 bestsellers. Miracles happen when you have faith and when you believe. Faith is the beginning of all miracles. And today we're waiting on our miracle. So thank you for being who you are, for coming to our ebook launch, for purchasing your book. Please remember to pull it through to the end and write us a 5-star review. We have a spirited and filled evening, and we just want you to enjoy the afternoon for us, evening for you guys in the UK and in Nigeria and all over the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, thank you, Denise. Every time I hear your story, I get a lump in my throat. It's just so powerful. It's so real, so genuine, and so transparent. And that gives hundreds, if not thousands and millions of other people, other women out there, gives them the actual stepping stone to take the first step. So well done. Fantastic. And yeah, we normally have about, when I do these launches, I usually ask for about 5 to 6 weeks lead time. And I got the phone call maybe yesterday, and it's like, when? Tomorrow? Let's just see if I can juggle a few things around. Are you sure? Yes, tomorrow. So if I don't quite get it all right tonight, you know, I've seen your names probably 3 hours ago first, so I do apologize, but I'll try my very, very best, you know. But this was so important to me because I know what Denise does, and I know how she transforms people's lives, and I know how this ebook is going to transform millions of people's lives. So I'm now going to introduce some authors. They're going to just have a quick chat about themselves and their experience about the book. First up, we have Dr. Sue Carter Collins. I've seen that person, so I know she's here. Hi, welcome. Now, Dr. Collins is a motivational speaker, spiritual teacher, energy healer, and a greatness life coach. She's the sort of person we all need to meet. So, Dr. Collins, it's over to you.
Thank you, Denise. I absolutely love you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have worked with you. Thank you, Ian, for on short notice being here with us. And thank you, fellow authors. I love every one of you. I started reading the stories, and you see, I got my little tissue. I'm already crying. I'm such a crybaby. But I just want to say, for me, the experience of writing is secondary to the experience of having been at the Dynamic Women Retreat, because I came there, I was so resistant, and I came in not wanting to know any of these young ladies and said as much. But I fell in love, and Lisa worked her magic. And my big thing was trust, learning to trust. And so I poured my heart out there, cried a lot of tears. But when I got to writing, my initial thought was, when I went to the retreat, I didn't think I was dynamic. So I didn't want to go. With all of my experience, all of my credentials, I didn't think I belonged. But at the retreat, I learned, along with all of these other women, that I am more than dynamic and that greatness is my birthright. So when I started to write, having had the personal development work with Lisa, been working with her now since 2018, the essay just kind of capped that off. And the big thing it did also in writing it was connecting with the other women and realizing that I had put aside one of my dreams, which was to write, because at one time I was told I could not write. And so I'm grateful for the experience and grateful to share my story. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing from Lisa, because she's incredible. She really is. Next up, we have got Gary Davis. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. We've got Gary Davis. Are you there? Are you here?
Here. I'm here.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so she's the owner of the CEO of Water Lily Learning Centres and the CEO of the Gary Davis Agency. She's a transformational speaker and is an author of an Amazon bestseller book of CEO in Stilettos. It's over to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and see all of my friends and sisters online. This book was an awesome experience for me. I have written a book before. I've done it in a silo and did it all by myself. And this was just a totally different, supportive, uplifting experience to be surrounded with all of these ladies that I have grown to love so much. And to do this with them is just an awesome experience. I was not very hesitant to write my story. As a matter of fact, I had already written this part of a story before. So like all of us, we do things and then we put it off to the side and never use it again. And so luckily I already had it ready, but sent it off to Denise and she perfected it for me so that it could be stronger and more powerful in my voice. So thank you, Denise, for doing that for me. Thank you for your vision and putting all of this together. I am super excited for each and every one of us. I miss you, ladies. I can't wait till we get back in the same space again. And this has just been an incredible experience for me. So thank you, everybody.
Wow, thank you. See, you know, if you missed out on this book, if you missed out on this thing tonight, actually probably the best investment you're making is being here today. I'll try not to keep saying tonight, because I know for most of you it's only afternoon or even morning. It's just because where I am, it's nighttime. You know, so probably two people will understand what I'm talking about because they're from the same country. You know, everyone else is saying, what is he talking about? It's midday. It's all right, we're in a different time zone, and I will try my best to remember, you know. Can I just ask, once you finish speaking, could you mute yourselves, because that will stop any echo. So once you finish, you just mute yourself, that will stop any echo. Next up, Dr. Brandy Florence.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me tell you a bit about Dr. Florence. She has over 15 years in healthcare operations, working in various roles ranging from consulting to performance improvement. She has also obtained her doctorate from the USC in the year 2020. What a talented lady. It's all over to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. And to echo what Gary and everyone said, I remember when Denise came up with this idea, and I would just read the emails and I was like, I'm not writing a story. I don't have a story to tell, because we were at this retreat, you hear everybody else's story. And then I had to get out of my head about measuring my story to someone else's. And I think it was really Gary that was like, just write the story. The editor will fix it and just write the story. So we wrote the story, and you know, we had plenty of meetings about it. And actually it was a story that I didn't realize was a story. And it was my first time really telling the story. And even just this morning, some of my cousins that read it called me and was like, now I understand you better. Because it was like, I didn't realize this was a story that was keeping me in a space. And it was this retreat with these women, like we left different. It was amazing. So thank you, Denise, for not letting me keep missing my deadlines and quitting and saying, no. Like, so, and all of you ladies, I mean, one way or another, we were always chatting, we stayed connected and we kept each other. And I'm really excited that it came to be this. It was a discussion and we're like, okay. And then it's like, oh, this really is happening. So thank you all. I'm really excited and looking forward to what happens for all of us next.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, when we finish this call tonight, it's going to be around about 11 p.m. in the UK. And then afterwards, I have to try and sleep. But I can feel from the stories already, I'm going to be so fired up. It's going to be like, sleep? What is that? You know, absolute powerful stories. Congratulations to everyone. It really is. Next up, we have Brenda. Brenda, are you with us?
I'm right here, yes.
You are, right, okay, that's good. So let me tell you about Brenda. She's a former corporate executive turned entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and coach. And she's been involved with the top 500 companies. She's been vice president. She has been an amazing person. So it is over to you right now.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here today. And it's I'm so grateful to my friends and my family and my community that have been showing up here today to support me. I'm also super grateful to all of the co-authors because, as so many of the others have mentioned, we met in the Bahamas and we went through this amazing transformational experience together, and we formed this forever bond. So when I heard about the book, like a few others, I had some resistance. I was thinking, like, how do I take on this title of dynamic woman? And so there was resistance initially, but then I thought, you know, my life story, my life experiences have happened for me, and they've happened so that I can share with that person out there that needs some inspiration, that needs some hope, that's on their knees praying. So that's why I said yes, and I'm so grateful that I did. I want to say thank you to Denise, because I was one of those people that was, I missed a few deadlines. I needed some support, and this entire process of writing the book, the support from Denise, the support from the other co-authors, them offering to read our chapters and to give us feedback was incredible. So again, this experience has been amazing. I truly believe, as I read all of the stories, that we are going to be able to bless so many people that are looking for inspiration. So again, thank you, ladies, for being a part of this. Thank you to all friends and family that are here supporting. And again, I couldn't be more grateful.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Brenda. If anyone's looking to purchase the book, you can do it now. You don't have to wait until the end. We've just put the link in the chat box. You know, this is going to be such a book. It's going to transform so many people's lives. If you haven't downloaded your copy, do it now. Then as soon as we finish tonight, just go and tell all of your friends, you need to go and download this. It will transform your life. It really will. So next up, I'm looking for Brittany Sherry. Have we got Brittany Sherry? Okay, looks like we haven't got her at the moment. Okay. Katrina Brown. Okay, looks like we're...
I'm here.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
guys.
Yeah.
I was taking a momentary water break.
That's fine. Would you like to respond to Gary Davis?
Yes. Well, I first want to say I'm so inspired to just be privy to all these amazing authors, and especially to Gary for just what she gave to the book, talking about her perspective and the things that she had to overcome in business and in leadership. It was completely inspiring, because I can't even imagine what I would feel with water pouring down literally in my business. And she just took that opportunity to hone in on her skill set and to make sure that she was a motivator for herself, given that she didn't have previous mentors. So her ability to pivot in business is just so inspiring, and I'm just forever grateful to know her and to read her work.
Wow, brilliant. Thank you very much. Michelle Johnson. Do we have Michelle? No, okay. Bianca.
Actually, Ian, it's going to be Nikki Florence.
Oh, okay. Fire away then.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I am Brandy's aunt, and I just want to tell her congratulations. This is just really a big deal. All of you ladies, just listening to all of you is just inspiring. To a few of you that talked about resistance. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, and I tell my clients, you got to reconcile in your heart that in order for you to transform and create a new body, that resistance is part of the game. So Brandy, to see her where she's at, to see how she's overcome, to see what she had to push through. So there's things that I know that maybe a lot of people don't know, but I've seen her overcome. I've seen her high, I've seen her low, but she never quit. She never gave up. She continued to push. And even though she's my niece, she's inspired me. She's even encouraged me, and even her cousins as well. So this is just a blessing. This is just an opportunity. God is good. I get excited, so I'm not going to stay before you long. So I just want to tell my niece that I'm really excited for her, and congratulations.
Right, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gina Tweed. Do we have Gina Tweed? No. Okay, well, we can come back in a short while, you know. Okay, I think what we should do now is we should give the car away. Oh, it's not a car, is it? The first prize in the raffle. I don't know why I've got this car thing in my mind. Every time I say car, Denise goes, you know, like, okay. So I think it's time to do the first raffle, and the first raffle is going to be a book, a hardback book. So Denise, who's doing the raffle? Okay, we are going to do a raffle. Don't worry, it's okay. It's okay. Let me just see who's going to do the raffle. Well, while we sort out who's going to do the raffle, which is going to be absolutely incredible, let me just actually introduce you to the next person. The next person doesn't personally know me, but I've known her for maybe 10, maybe 20 years. I forget, it's that long. Because I listened to this CD, someone gave it me actually, man, and said, you need to listen to The Secret. And it's like, The Secret? What's The Secret all about? Listen to it. And I listened to The Secret. And this person's voice stood out the most to me. And it was Lisa Nichols. So she doesn't know me, but I've known her. I can't remember, it's 10 or 20 years now. I must have played that CD over 1,000 times. You know, and anyone who comes into my mentoring program, I say, you have to watch The Secret, and you need to make sure you listen and recite what this person has to say, because she alone can transform lives. I know she's an incredible person because I've followed her so many years. So you don't have to be up front and say to everyone, hi, how are you? This is the impact that people like yourselves have on everyday people, because I'm just an everyday person. And I was told, listen to this. And I listened to it. It transformed my life. And all of you this evening, you all have your own stories. And just by sharing with one person, you can transform people's lives. So let's, as long as Lisa's here, of course. Now, Lisa, are you here?
I am. And we got the cheerleading squad. We got the whole cheerleading squad here.
Well, I was going to introduce
We are here to celebrate you beautiful ladies.
I was going to introduce you, but I don't think I need to anymore. I think everyone knows you, which is not surprising whatsoever, considering she's reached out to more than 80 million people. Think about that. One person has reached out, and she doesn't even know when she's reaching out to people. She doesn't know she reached out to me 10 or 20 years ago. She didn't know that. She only just found out tonight, actually. But, you know, it's such a big impact. And yes, she's reached out to 80 million, but don't forget, all of you have a story. All of you have a person waiting to hear from you. Then to make that one phone call, you can transform somebody's life. And not many people say, hey, I need my life transforming. Most people are sat there like and think, how am I going to get through this? Your one call can do what Lisa Nichols does every day of her life. And I know she's transformed millions upon millions upon millions of lives. It's over to you.
Thank
Getting
you.
all emotional. So I give it to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your time, your energy, your love, your commitment to Denise and to every single woman and man, daughter and son that will be impacted by this delicious, delicious project. So one more time, some noise, ladies in the house. One more time, some noise. We got some noise. You guys, we got the cheerleading squad. We got the cheerleading squad over here because we have authors in the house, back at home in the Bahamas, where many of you who are in the book, where you first discovered one another and you tapped into the opportunity to take your cape off. A dynamic woman is an ordinary sister friend who chooses every day to make one more extraordinary decision. A dynamic woman is not a superhero, nor a super shero. Her cape is not tethered to her body. Her cape is Velcro, and she needs to take it off and catch her breath. The S on her chest is not permanent. It is out of ink, and it's removable ink, and she showers every night, and then she puts it back on in the morning. A dynamic woman is a sister friend who chooses to rise above her circumstance one more time, 1,000 times. And when she gets to 1,000, she presses reset and she climbs over her circumstances one more time again. And so it was only fitting that I create a space And quite honestly, when I created a space for super sister soldiers to come together and take our capes off, I created the space because I needed the space. I love my life. I look at and listen to what Ian is saying, and I'm always grateful to find another person who I touched. Because 25 years ago, I said, Lord, I want to travel the world, run my mouth, and autograph anything and inspire anyone. And then I hear stories like this, and it always lands on a full heart. But when I decided to do the Dynamic Women's Retreat, it was because I love my life, but I needed to revisit it. I needed to re-choose it. I needed to redesign some parts of it. I needed to embrace some parts tighter. I needed to forgive some people. I needed to let go of some others. I needed to cry my uncried tears so that I can smile my unsmiled smiles. I needed to let love go so that I can let love in. I needed to just do so much, but I needed to do it in a place with other sister friends, where other sister friends knew what it meant to put it all on the line. Other sister friends knew what it meant to shine bright and to have a shadow. Other sister friends knew what it meant to have spirituality and chaos. I wanted a place where I can live in my duality. And I figured if I could use that, you could too. And so the Dynamic Women's Retreat was born. It wasn't born as a big marketing tool. As a matter of fact, I did it in my phone. I didn't know as many women would want to go. And all of a sudden it got big and it outgrew my phone and it needed a computer. And then it outgrew my computer and it needed a team. And my CFO said, what are you doing? What is this thing? I was like, oh, it's this little, matter of fact, the first nickname was called Black Ops. No pun intended. That was the first nickname. And so I am so honored. Last year, Denise and I stood in the retreat house and Denise made some comments about how, man, this should be a book. And I was like, great, you should write it. And it's in that space of you are the solution that you've been looking for. You are the rescue that you've been looking for. You are the inspiration that you've been looking for. You are the resiliency that you've been looking for. You are the love that you've been looking for. Yes, we need each other, but it all starts with you. And what I love about this book is that it shows how transformation can occur in just 5 days when you're open to it. I listen to Dr. Sue. I look at Terri. I look at everyone. I look at Jackie. I look at Ine. I look at Denise, and I look at Danita, and I look at everyone, Esther, and I watch and over year, I watch each woman fall back in love with herself. And I watch each woman fall back in love with the possibility of a sister friend. I watch each woman fall back in love with the opportunity to be held and to hold. This book is about the power of holding and being held. This book is about the power of being a giant and still managing my journey. It's about the deliciousness of duality. I don't need to be one thing. I can be all things. And I don't need to be perfect. I just need to learn how to perfectly manage my imperfection. This book is about giving permission to live in the space in melanin skin, giving permission to live in the space with straight, long, short, kinky, curly hair, given permission to live in the space to walk out the legacy of our grandmothers and our great-great-grandmothers, to be a giant while we're still growing, to be spiritual and live in this world, to be sexy and to be godly. This book is about permission to love, to lose, to run, to walk, and to sit and catch our breath. This book is simply about permission. I think the number one thing that it does, it lets me know as a gladiator, as a giant, as a daughter, as a new wife, as a lover, as a mother, that I'm not alone. It simply says, wherever you are, sis, you're not there alone. It's not a book of complaining comparison. Oh, you think your life is bad? Look at mine. It's a book of celebrating the crawl, and then celebrating the walk, and then celebrating the run, and then celebrating the soar. This book is about letting all things be okay and allowing her to be anywhere she is. And that's perfect. Wherever she is, we will hold her there. Wherever she is, we will celebrate her there. Wherever she is, we will be her champions when she's there. This book defies what many of us have come to believe over time. You cannot trust a woman. It defies that. And it defies the conversation that Black women can't play together, pray together, shine together, dance together, eat good together, get in a little good trouble together. It defies that. That dynamic women started as a way to give oxygen to myself. And my sister friend Danita was willing to stand in the gap with me. And then we opened up the space for each one of you to find out if that's a space for you. And now this book will do what the retreat can't do. Because there's so many of our sister friends who can't quite make it to the retreat, whether they don't have time resource, whether they don't have personal permission resource or financial resource or just resource. This book will go to them. So I celebrate each one of you who've been willing to put a bit of a glimpse of your story on paper. I celebrate each one of you who've been willing to open up your heart and say, I trust that when you come in, you'll love me through my truth. I celebrate you. It was in that journey that each one of you found me. It was somewhere online or somewhere on a CD, for those of us who go back far enough. It was somewhere in a book. Somewhere you saw a bit of my truth and you can relate your truth to it, somewhere. And so I celebrate you for saying, hold on, sis, we'll carry the mantle now. Pass us the baton. We'll step in. It has been a journey. And I've waited for moments like this, where a dynamic sister friend like Denise could have an idea, and I immediately put it in her lap. That's a great idea, Denise. You do it. I'm busy. And she said, okay. First, she looked at me like, huh? What do you mean me do it? I think you're brilliant. You're perfect for the job. And let today show that you have done a far better job than I ever could have done with my schedule. The love that you put into it, the attention, the intention, like you are the gladiator. So many times we're reminded that we're what we've been looking for. And so I am simply a sister in this journey. I might be like the big sister, as Denise calls it. I may be like the big sister, but I'm a sister in the journey. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on the planet right now, witnessing anything else on the planet right now, other than this moment, for such a time as this. And may we open up the gates, and may we open up the floodgates for young sisters to come through and understand that we can be a safe haven for each other. May we set a standard by which our young sisters will tippy toe to be a part of. May we open up a space where this becomes the normality and not the extra occasion, but yet the normality of how women, melanin popping women, Black women from all over the world can come together, dance together, pray together, rise together, hold each other accountable together, and heal together. Let this be the time in history. And we may not live to see it all fall out, but Dr. King set something in motion and we're the beneficiaries of it. And let us do the same for our little sisters and the men that will watch them and the men that will love them as their sons, their brothers, their fathers, or their lovers. Let us be the stand. We are the solution that we've been looking for. So I'm honored to call you my sisters and you my brother. I'm honored to call each one of you my sisters in this journey. Dr. Maria, Janelle, and I want you to know that this was a space that we created so that as Black women healed, we can turn to our sisters of another hue and hold you in the space of possible healing across cultural lines. But in order for us to heal across cultural lines, we have to heal ourselves first. And so it's in honor of our love for our diversity, that we created a space so that we can hold and heal together, so that we can then cross all kind of lines and melt the walls and build the bridges. And so I'm honored to be on this journey with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Watch, the cheerleading squad gonna make some more noise. Y'all make some noise for the cheerleaders. Thank you guys. Ian, back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. You know, quite incredible, but you know, I've been mentoring people for over 30 years. And then I listen to Lisa. And it just, all the time, it just gets my throat. If it wasn't emceeing tonight, I probably would cry, to be honest with you, you know, because she goes deep. It's deep, it's sincere, it's absolutely there. So, Lisa, before I cry, I just want to say thank you very much for sharing with us this evening. Really appreciate it.
It's my honor. It's my honor. Be well. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, now I think the raffle for the car, not for the car. I think the raffle is back on. I'm told don't mention the car because no one wants to do the draw then. Okay, there's no car. It's going to be a book. It's going to be a really good book, you know? So I believe Ariel Nicholson. Yes, I can see.
Hi, guys.
About to happen.
Welcome. I'm so excited for all of you. And I am here to spin this raffle. I cannot share. Oh, the host has asked me to. I cannot share the video.
Now you can. Now you can.
Yeah, Ariel, you've muted yourself.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Can you screen share with us? Yes.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Christina's the winner. Do you guys see the screen?
Can we spin again? Because Christina is
Oh, wow. Look at that. We have to
she's gonna
spin
already
it.
get a gift. Can we skip her?
Oh, okay.
I love you, Christina. We're gonna pass the love on to somebody else.
Wow, look at that. Okay, spinning again. Do you guys see?
Yeah.
Wow, Christina, they want you to win so bad.
Wow.
Joy Ross, congratulations.
Well done. We will get the book sent out to you. So technology is amazing. It's really incredible. You know, so well done and thank you for that. And we have 2 more draws to do, remember. And we know the last draw is going to be mega, be incredible, but I'm not allowed to tell you what it is at this time. What say Denise? I'll tell them it's not a car. Oh, it's definitely not a car then. Okay, she's not going to enjoy her evening. She's thinking about the car. Okay, no problem. Well, that was amazing from Lisa. And so far tonight, you know, it's been like really, really powerful. You know, and you're all giving your time up to share with people. Over 175 people on the call this evening, which is absolutely amazing. So many people just wait for one phone call that will change their lives. So when you think about someone, I think, shall I share this book with them or not? Don't think about it. Just share it. Just send them the link and say, you need to do that. And the reason I say that to you is because that's what happened to me with the secret video. The person said, you just need to watch it. And I'm going to come and test you at the end of it. So I was like, okay. And I took it in and it absolutely transformed my life. So don't forget, one phone call could transform someone's life right now. Okay, on we go then, on we go. Jackie Harden. Jackie, are you with us? You are with us, yes, well done. Okay, let me tell you just a little bit about her. She's a best-selling author, a strategic life coach, motivational speaker. She has transformed her life from a struggling single mother to a 6-figure professional and entrepreneur. Jackie, it's over to you.
Thank you so much. It is just such a joy to be here. I'm so excited. Thank you, Denise. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for bringing us all together for this project. Thank you, Lisa Nichols, for the Dynamic Women's Retreat. I think a common theme here has been resistance. I definitely was resistant to even showing up for the retreat last year. My mom had just died. My mother had just died a few weeks prior to the retreat. And I'm just so glad that I did show up. So I happen to be number 9 in the lineup in the book, chapter 9, and I'm going to just share a poem with you all. I echo everything that's already been said, and my story is for the girls. This story is for the girls. This story is for all the girls. This is for all the girls who have survived loss. The loss of a loved one, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, or a husband. The loss of a limb, the loss of a breast or a babe, the loss of a family, the loss of a job, a career, or even an entire business, the loss of a dear friend. This is for the girls. We know the sticks, but we don't know all their stories. So I celebrate all the girls who found the courage to stay here in the gay life, even after the loss, even when it seemed like you would never win. This is for all the girls who didn't give up, but found the courage to stay in the game, even while hurting. Somehow you found the strength to keep dribbling the ball, limp and all, just to take another shot. This is for all the girls who gave it all they got. This is for all the girls who found the courage to become a mom, whether by choice or by force. You brought forth life. This is for all the girls who give life to the game, girls who gave their life for the game. Without you, life would never be the same. Thank you to all of you for showing up. You blessed my life by here, and I pray that this work will bless the lives of so many. I'm sure you can hear my emotion because this has truly been an emotional journey. And I'm just so humbled and honored to be here and to be a part of this project. Thank you.
Wow, how powerful. Now this just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger, doesn't it? Don't forget, send the link out for the book. You are going to transform people's lives. Next up, I'm not sure if I got to pronounce right, is Joy Labau. Joy, yeah, okay. So next up we have Joy, and we can see she's here. She's a mindfulness personal development coach and founder of Joy Unleash Your Potential. She's committed to helping others to tap into their power greater than themselves through meditation, mindfulness. Sounds absolutely incredible. Joy, it's over to you. If anyone else has got their microphone on, by the way, can just, once you finish, turn the microphone off, because obviously we get distortion otherwise.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. First off, I want to just say thank you to Denise for your vision in making this a reality. Oh my goodness. Thank you to all of my fellow co-authors. Thank you to all of those that have came out to support today. We truly, truly appreciate you. And I'm so grateful and honored. As I reflect on how I felt during this writing process, at first I went through a period of procrastination, trying to figure out what to write about. Me, dynamic. I said yes to this opportunity. One weekend after talking to a friend, I grabbed my notebook, a glass of wine, of course, and headed to my patio and began writing. The words just flowed out of me. And I looked up, I had written 4 pages and I still wasn't complete. So I decided to come back in the house and review what I had written. Wow. Now I needed to transfer my story from paper onto the computer. That wasn't happening that day. I think I had one too many glasses of wine. The following weekend, I typed up what I had written and found myself adding even more details to the story until I reached my desired endpoint. I checked the word count. Of course I was over. I chuckled a little. Because I had a coach at the time and a friend tell me that I was a writer. That didn't resonate with me. I disagreed because I still had that D in handwriting in grade school going through my mind, and the letters of not being accepted and telling me I was not a good writer. I know someone on Zoom can relate to this. Raise your hand. if you have that feeling. Wow. I smiled as I reread what I wrote. I had a sense of accomplishment rush through my body. I did it. I overcame all of my thoughts that was originally racing through my mind that I couldn't. We all have stories, or several stories, in our bellies waiting to be birthed. And today I gave birth to my first published work. And now I'm a published author. I'm speechless. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Excellent. Absolutely fantastic story. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Joy. Well done. Next, we have Alana. Do we have Alana? Am I getting that right?
Hello,
Yes,
hello.
we do. Right, okay, we do. So we have Alana. She has done many, many things. She's in the Bahamas. She become author and poet, public speaker and motivator, TV, radio host, and a woman on a mission fighting causes larger than herself while embracing change for the better. Lana, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Ian. I am more than honored to be here in this space that's been presented. I want to say thank you to Lisa for creating the energy behind the Dynamic Women's Retreat. And thank you to Denise for obeying the laws and going ahead and making sure that this book came to fruition. Without both of you, this would not happen. Without both of you, we would not be here. And to my fellow co-authors, I am honored to be in this space with you. I never would have thought I would be here, standing here with this type of energy and this type of dynamic power. And so thank you to all of you. I am a daughter of the Bahamian soil, proud Bahamian woman, and I believe that I was able to identify with this type of energy of becoming dynamic because of what I went through. When I met with Denise, I had not so long before that lost my son when he was in my womb, and I didn't feel dynamic. I did not feel like a powerful woman. And I was able to be embraced by women that knew that there was dynamic energy that was around. And so I'm grateful to be here and to express that in the contribution that I gave. I grew up with a mother that was full of charisma and class and character and some chaos. And she taught me about beauty and the beauty of being a woman. And so as she taught me that, she showed me there was a lady in church that was always inebriated, but she would sing from the guts of her soul just as she worshiped God. She would pick wildflowers out of the garden and put them in her hair. She would dance around in church and people would look bad on her and look down on her, but she worshiped from her soul. To me, that's dynamic energy and dynamic power. My mother showed me another woman that became the president of Argentina. She started off quiet and just focusing on her family and her love for others. And she uplifted her husband when he was the president. And then when he transitioned, she became president, and that's dynamic. My mother showed me a mirror of myself after losing my husband and I, our son. And she said, "You're a dynamic woman." And it's because of that energy that I felt dynamic and I felt I could be a part of becoming dynamic. So again, thank you so much. My contribution comes out in prose and in poetry, and my hope is the energy that I give in this contribution, somebody else can feel it. So in my poem, Tomorrow, and in my poem, Destiny, and in my poem, You, and in my poem, As I Blossom, I pray that dynamic energy comes across to you. That's my heart, and I appreciate you all. Thank you, and thank you to my husband and family. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. So powerful, so powerful. Next one of these we're going to do in the morning of the UK time, because this is going to be a sleepless night. It definitely is. Next up, we have Eni next up. And she is an international and TEDx speaker, best-selling author, coach, consultant who specializes in working with personally and professional successful women. I have worked alongside her. We were both in the training programs together. She is an incredible woman, no doubt about it whatsoever. I've watched her grow. We were in the same program and she has soared like an eagle. And now she's sought after. And you know what? If you don't know this woman, you need to get to know her because she is super powerful. Annie, it's over to you.
Hello, Ian. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're both in the UK. Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Sal. Good afternoon to everybody else. Hello, Denise. Thank you for this. Thank you, Lisa. Much love. And to my co-authors and all our guests, thank you so much. It's really humbling and very emotional to be here this evening. So it was in April of last year. I sat on a coaching call with Lisa Nichols, and she said to me, I think I have a spot at my Dynamic Women's Retreat in a few months. Would you like to join? And without thinking, I was like, I'm there, Lisa, I'm there. And at the end of the call, I thought, hang on, what did she say? Did she say Dynamic Women's Retreat? What do I know about being dynamic? I'm not dynamic, I'm just me. And then a few months later, I got on a plane in the middle of a pandemic and flew thousands of miles away from my home in London, UK, to Nassau, Bahamas, to meet with my coach and to meet with my fellow DWR ladies, sisters. Now, I think that is dynamic. But then what really struck me was when I got to Nassau, I realized that everybody there was just there trying to do their best, trying to navigate their own turning points, trying to experience more of what life had to offer to them, just trying to do them. And then I realized that in fact, we're all dynamic. Another thing Lisa taught me is that we can grow professionally, we can grow in our business, but I learned that personal development is the absolute basis for any other type of development. And until we address our personal development issues, honestly, nothing else matters. For that, I truly want to thank my coach, Lisa Nichols. I want to thank you all. It's just amazing to be here. Denise Nicholson, you're an absolute star. You rock, my darling sister friend. And that's my story. Thank you all so much. Good evening. Bye for now.
Wow, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I've heard that before from you, which is fantastic, And isn't it excellent because everyone is coming from different walks of lives. And yet everyone has the opportunity to transform people's lives. Have we got Christian Carter?
I'm here.
Oh, hi. Would you like to comment on Jackie?
Yes, absolutely. Well, good day and good evening to all of you, no matter what time zone. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here. And I'm here to acknowledge and congratulate my mother, Jackie Harden, and I'm just so excited and proud of her and all of you dynamic women. I can't wait to read the book. We've all, we're all signing up on Amazon, so I got my copy this morning and I can't wait. But mommy, to witness your journey has been absolutely incredible. I love you and I'm so, so proud of you. And I can't wait for more people to hear your story and read your story along with these other women as well. So just congratulations to everyone. I know it takes a lot to share your journey and share your story and your truth. We've lived it together. And so I'm just looking forward to it, just continuing to transform lives. So I love you and congratulations to everybody.
Wow, thank you very much. Now, I think the next person I'm looking for is Moshe Akka. I had this wrong.
Moshe Akala.
Exactly, that's the person I'm looking for. I just had this note slipped in front of me, thought I didn't know what that one was. Yes, are you available? I don't think.
Hi, everybody. I'm Moshe. Good to see you guys. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And we're all sister friends, but I have one very special sister friend that we met on the campus in tears, like everybody else, in each other's arms, hugging each other, comforting each other at retreats, at events. And not only has she witnessed my journey and been there to support me, but I've witnessed her journey and we're still holding hands tight. And I'm so proud of you, Miss Joy Adams. I'm so proud of the leaps and bounds that you took, even when you thought you didn't have no bounce, but you know you got bounce. And I will always be here. I will always have your back, and I appreciate you so much. This is just the beginning, and you already know. This is just the beginning. So proud of you. So proud of all of you guys. I just want to say thank you for being courageous and telling your stories, because somebody needs to hear it. And I can't wait for the after explosion of all of this. So get ready, put your seatbelts on, and be ready to take off with that rocket, because y'all did the dang thing. So proud of you. I love you, Joy. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Terrell Major. Yes.
Hello, I'm sorry. Can you see me clearly?
Yeah, see and hear you fine.
Thank you, Ian. Can everybody see me clearly? I might have to move back.
You've got a bit of a shadow, but we can hear you.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. We can see you now.
Thank you so much. I am the husband of one of the dynamic leading ladies, okay, Alana Major, and I just want to say how very proud I am of my wife. And it was a bit touching. I think I'm getting there, because Ian, don't feel too bad. You're not the only male here who may have brought a tear once or twice listening to these wonderful ladies. I was there, obviously, as her husband. And yes, we did go through a lot, you know, and it was very dramatic for us. And to see where my wife is right now, surrounded by so many supportive women, I love it. I love it. I hope and I pray that, you know, maybe Lisa might even think about doing something for the men. Okay, but I'm proud of my wife. I'm proud of the organization. I'm proud to say that my wife is an author. You know, I may now be a stay-home husband. You know, but congratulations, ladies. Love you guys and continue the great work. Lisa, big sis, I love you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Really do. Denise. We know you're here. Denise Nichols.
I am here. Oh my goodness. I have the wonderful opportunity to say congratulations to each and every one of you, and especially to my friend N.A.O.B. N.A., you are a wonderful inspiration. Now, let me tell y'all how I met N.A. We were on a speaking platform together, and she heard me speak and then said, Denise, I'm going to join your Writing Incubator Challenge. And she joined the Writing Incubator Challenge, and I was her coach. While I was coaching her, to write her book, her first book, she said to me, her coach, Lisa Nichols, invited her to this dynamic women's retreat. And I was like, oh, I'm coming. Just like, now if Coach Bibbs is here, girl, I am so sorry. I jumped right over you and invited myself. And she was like, okay, of course, I'll talk to Lisa and see what she says, because she told me I was the last person. Of course, that's her accent. Anyway, she spoke to Lisa. They were like, we ain't got no room for nobody else. She can't just invite herself. Anyway, God worked it out. Let me tell you, when you say yes, and you're supposed to be in a place, not even you can stop you, okay? So because I said yes, invited myself to this space, I did get the opportunity, because you know what? Someone else dropped out, very last minute. And when they couldn't make it to the Dynamic Women's Retreat in the beautiful Bahamas, guess whose name came up on the list next? Ooh, child. And I was like, when I got the phone call, I did not know how that money was going to come. Let me tell you the truth. But I said, yes, I'm going to make the first payment right now. and God took care of the rest. Now let me share that time, that moment that we were, those days that we were on the Bahamas. Annie and I grew closer because that was our first time meeting, and our friendship got stronger. We walked home together from the retreat every night. We walked like little girls. She walked me to my villa, and then I walked her back to her villa. And then we did the back and forth for about 5 times. And then I was like, okay, you stay here and go home and I'll wait for you. She was like, go home. Annie, you have been a wonderful friend, a delicious treat. And I can't wait for us to be back together. We have done so many great things together, and I can't wait for us to just do more. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me the opportunity and for saying yes to this book. I really appreciate your contribution, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you so much.
Wow,
I have a video, Ian. Let me play my video next.
Play your video.
Oh, I have to share. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and congratulations, authors. You are dynamic women.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Thank you so much. And we're still got plenty of good stories to come yet, you know, so it's like, by the time we finish, none of us might be able to sleep tonight, by the way, you know, but hey ho, let's go. So let's see if we can find Tanya. Tanya, do we have Tanya? Tanya Odoms?
I'm here.
Yes, hi. So let me just tell you, she's a mental health mentor, transformational coach who helps people turn their trauma into triumph through taking responsibility for their lives, teach them how to master their minds and manage depression so they can craft the lives they want and deserve. What an amazing woman. It's over to you.
I am so moved by these stories. I've been fighting tears since we got on this Zoom. And
can I just stop for 1 minute? Can I stop for 1 minute? If you're not speaking, could you actually mute your microphones because we're getting feedback? So if you just mute your mic if you're not speaking, that'd be great. Sorry, carry on.
Can you hear me? Okay. So I was just expressing gratitude for being a part of such a wonderful group. And this whole writing process for me was very therapeutic. As I was writing my experience around losing my mother at a very young age, I also had an opportunity to heal from my grandmother who was making her transition at the time. And the title of my story, which is chapter 7 in the book, is She Rises, Resilient, Responsible, and Sovereign. And although I was going through it as I was aiding my grandma in her transition, I also understood that I was having another opportunity to heal on a greater level because watching my grandmother go through exactly what my mom went through was an opportunity for me to heal on a greater level. It also reminded me of the level of resiliency I had as a teen as I watched my mother pass away. And being able to write and tell this story kind of forced me to really deal with the unresolved trauma that I didn't deal with when my mom was dying because it was just too overwhelming. And one thing I do know is that the lessons you don't learn, you will repeat. And as I was going through what I was going through and writing the story and just wanting to throw in the towel and wanting to go just give in because it was just so overwhelming for me, I was reminded of who I was as a dynamic woman, looking at and revisiting all those old feelings from when I was a kid that was surfacing right now, but also recognizing that it was an opportunity to deal on a deeper level. And the one thing I do regret is that I went into isolation and I kind of disconnected from the group, and I'm hearing, and for the first time, many of these wonderful women, I'm like, wow, what if I would stay connected? What support could I have gotten? So that's another lesson I'm learning right now. So I just want to share with anybody who is going through anything and is feeling like they just want to throw in the towel. I want you to remember that everything we go through is designed to help us grow. Everything we go through is designed to make us stronger. And if we just continue to believe that we can get to the other side, we will allow our lights to shine. And what I do recognize, and I'll end with this, is a quote from Kirk Franklin. He said, "My pain has prepared me for my destiny." And I understand that everything that I'm going through, I have been through, is not for me. It's not just for me. It's an opportunity for me to be a role model, to share with others who are struggling, to show them that despite the pain we're in, that we don't have to throw in the towel, that we can pick ourselves up and tap into that level of perseverance and resilience and keep moving forward. So I just want to say thank you to Denise for her continued efforts to reach out to me when I just went into solitude and didn't want to talk, didn't want to write, and I was writing my other book. And this essay took precedence over that because I knew it was part of my healing. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be a part of such a wonderful sister circle with such dynamic women. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We really do. And yet again, from a different direction, lives are being changed again. Do we have Lillian? Do we have a Lillian?
I'm here.
You are? Oh, excellent. Okay, right. So Lillian is a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, author, teacher, visionary, and collaborative author with 2 Amazon #1 best-selling books. She goes on and on and on and on, and she just helps people every single day. So Lillian, it's over to you.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. That already sounds like dynamic woman. When Denise asked if we can, because I am in Denise writing incubator class or BIP, and she asked if we can join the dynamic woman. And I asked her a question. I said, am I dynamic? And she asked me back to say, you are not dynamic? So I'm like, I think I am. And many of you who don't know Denise is like one of these sisters that you all need to know her, because she's somebody who will stand with you and hold your hand. It doesn't matter what you go through. Or like when I walk to Denise, I don't know how to write. I don't even know if I want to be a writer, but she brings something out of me that I didn't know it was there. Now putting all my pain into the paper, I feel free because she held my hand to let me know that I am important. I am dynamic woman. I'm a person, I was born in refugees camp, and coming to the US
I remember in January when we arrived in New York City with our short skirt and a t-shirt and a slipper in our feet, and people looking at us like, where's these people come from? And for her to remind me, say, where you come from, it make you to be dynamic. Where you come from, it make you to be dynamic. And that's what dynamic woman is all about. Just like Lisa said, it's our time as a Black woman to shine, to rise, to be there for each other, to hold each other hand, to see the gift and the beautiful and the wonder in that person and tell her, I got you, I have you, you are my sister. And I want us to win together. I want us to be on the throne together. And that's what Denise done to me. So today I'm putting on my crown, as always I do. So I'm telling all of you queen out there, we are dynamic. So it's my story and I'm sticking with it.
You're muted, Ian.
Am I not now? No, that's good. Okay, excellent. Well, that was fantastic, Lillian. In case you didn't get to hear me, that was amazing. Well done. Fantastic. Next, we are going to Professor Joy, who I can see. So I know she's here. Let me tell you a bit about her. She is a leadership coach. She helps passion-driven women identify their limiting beliefs and roadblocks and works with them to strategize and take action steps to actually move them forward. So Professor Joy, it's over to you.
Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're joining in from. I am so excited, really excited to be here this afternoon. And a very big congratulations to all of us, the co-authors, Dr. Dennis Nicholson. Thank you so much for saying yes to this and for birthing this great dream. It just seemed like yesterday when we were at the Dynamic Women's Retreat in Bahamas. And I recall that I came in late. I was the last person to arrive on the scene. I had to go through a lot, you know, it was late visas, late passports coming out and all of that. But I still came in and I came in at the right time. It just felt as if, you know, I hadn't even missed any of the days. Everything I was meant to get at the retreat, I did get at the retreat and much more. I came in very heavily burdened. I came in very exhausted on all fronts. And it was just so awesome watching our sisters pour out into us. You know, we poured into each other, we held our hands. And thank you so much to our amazing coach, Lisa Nichols. You are just amazing. Thank you for creating that space and for really being the energy and the force behind this. Thank you so much. And the chapter I contributed to the anthology is She Speaks. Now, I realized that we speak consciously or unconsciously, and it's very important that we are very intentional about the way we speak as sisters to create a difference, because we're inspiring people. We are helping to mend broken hearts. We are the story, we are the message. And like Lisa Nichols said, we are the solution. So thank you everyone for being here. And it's just been super amazing writing this book with all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I look forward to our journey moving forward.
Wow, thank you very much. We really appreciate you. And we appreciate everyone taking time out tonight who's actually been part of the book, because, you know, we still have over 150 people on this call. And a lot of these people are just waiting to have their lives changed. And just something like this can absolutely do it, which is absolutely incredible. Right, next up is Darnell. Darnell, are you around? We are, yes, I can see it. Okay, here we go. Well, let me just tell a small bit about her. She was appointed the first female chairman of the Bahamas Power and Light in 2017. And she enjoys fostering women's empowerment. So it's over to you.
Thank you. And it's amazing that you picked that one thing off of my bio, that I perhaps was when I met Lisa, it was in 2018, and it was at the end of that short reign as the first chairman of BPL. But I have to say thank you to Lisa, because I met several of you wonderful ladies at the Dynamics Women's Retreat, one of whom was Denise, who, like Ine says, has become a very good friend and has held our hands with this project. If you had asked me about 5 years ago if I would be in this circuit, if I would be standing on this stage, if I would be speaking about becoming dynamic, I would definitely say no. I'm a CPA by profession, and most of my background had been in the financial services. So, but I met Lisa when she came to the Bahamas in 2018. And given that I had time on my hands, I just lost my dear mother, and I needed some encouragement, so was looking for encouragement, and I attended this luncheon, and it happened that I sat right next to Lisa, and we cemented a bond from then. And Lisa actually tricked me into coming to the Dynamic Women's Retreat last year. I thought I was just helping her out in terms of concierge, or helping pick up someone, Denise or Ine or Terri or somebody from the airport. But I realized when I got there that I was a part of this Dynamic Women's Retreat. And she was like, Darnell, I knew that's the only way I would get you in this session. So anyway, I ended up, but it was a life-changing experience. I met you wonderful ladies. I was a part of a accountability group, and I see some of you, Brenda, Margaret, and several of you here who I see as a part of the accountability group. But as it relates to this project, writing this piece, I somehow maybe subconsciously forgot that I said yes, perhaps, to writing, and I forgot about it. And then I kept seeing these emails, and I was like, well, that's not for me, that's for someone else. And then during one of our accountability calls, I think Twyla or somebody said, yeah, you're supposed to do this. And Dr. Sue then said, I'm like, yeah, but the deadline. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But thanks to these gracious ladies, and I really have to thank God for bringing them in my life, because Dr. Sue, just to say, Denise held my hand, but Dr. Sue, she said, Darnell, she said, I'm going to give you, and Dr. Sue's a busy woman. Most of you here are busy. She's a professor, she's a lawyer, she's everything. But she took about 3 hours on a Friday afternoon, and she sat with me, and she edited my piece. And so I just, when I was encouraged to write it, so thank you, Dr. Sue, thank you, Denise, thank you, Lisa. But when I was encouraged, I guess, dynamic, I didn't think of myself as being dynamic, because at the moment, I didn't feel very dynamic. But isn't it curious how quickly we can disregard the way, the qualities others see in us, and just, they see it so clearly, but we just disregard it because we are at such a dark space. But the process of writing this piece made me realize that I have faced tribulations, yes, that have tested every strength of every fiber of my being. I have faced constant change. I have always spoken the truth, and no matter what the cost. And I've remained very active, even when I wanted to just quite comfortably shy into my own personal space and just stay out of public life for a while. But writing this showed me and allowed me to see that the tribulations had helped me to become more dynamic, and it further developed qualities such as fearlessness and loyalty and resilience, and always getting back up no matter how many times I'm knocked down. So my hope is that our contributions serve as a guide for finding how these tribulations in your life, and with a doubt they will come, okay, and from nowhere and at the worst time, can help you to become more dynamic. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for showing me that I could become an author. So thank you, thank you.
Wow, fantastic. I think this is one of the best launches I've ever seen. You know, it's absolutely incredible. You should all be very proud of yourself. It's absolutely amazing. Do we have Kirsten Melvey? Kirsten?
Actually, Venus Knight is on to speak in place of her.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I'm Venus Knight. I am a spiritual sister to Tanya Odoms. I am the best friend of Tanya Odoms. Sometimes she's my mama, sometimes she's my mentor, but she's my biggest supporter. And I'm just here to congratulate her. I'm so proud of her. And this is a vision that we've seen decades ago as we planned our future and created programs together and serviced our community. And I have watched Tanya Odoms encourage young people to be dynamic, young girls, young men, even some adults. She has been such a great leader in the communities that we serve. She's changed lives. And when I learned about the title of this book, I was like, well, here it is. Tanya is the most dynamic person that I know. And I am so blessed to know her and be in her galaxy. And I love you, sis. And I can't wait to see what you do further on. And congratulations to all the dynamic women and authors. Mwah. Thank you so much. I got to go to the vet. My cat is sick.
Okay. Well, I hope your cat gets better really quickly. Thank you. Latoya, do we have Latoya? Latoya Walker. No. Okay, we'll have to move on then. Next we have Nguzi. No.
Hello, I'm so glad to be part of this meeting this evening. I'm coming from Nigeria, and it's for our time check, it's 9:10 p.m. Good evening from Nigeria to everyone. I'm excited to celebrate my mentor, my coach, Professor Joy Onyeso, who is doing amazing work right here in Nigeria, especially within the city of Enugu, where I live. Joy has been amazing. So much of what many ladies have become is what she has turned us into, giving us hope, giving us a future, letting us know that we can thrive and that we can be all that God has designed that we be. She has been super amazing, and I'm so excited to celebrate her on this co-authoring of the book. And to all other wonderful ladies, I say kudos to all of you, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, someone's on the same time zone as us. It's like, cool, So well done. We appreciate you dialing in. That really is cool. Margot, do we have Margot? Margot Moore? No, looks like we don't have Margot Moore. That's okay. We'll catch up later. That's fine. Okay, so don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box. And there is someone waiting to answer all your questions. And if you have a challenge with registering for the book, then pop in the chat box. We'll get resolved for you, because this is a book where everyone on this call tonight should have ordered it before they go to bed. Because if you don't, it's going to be playing on your mind. Should I, should no? The answer is do it. Just absolutely do it, because it is going to transform people's lives. End of story. It really is.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, this is Margot Maury.
Oh, hi, Margot. Sorry, carry on.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor and my distinct pleasure to congratulate my dear sister and best friend, Darnell Osborne, on this auspicious occasion. Darnell, once again, you've raised the bar as you continue to be such an excellent example of great leadership, not only for us women, but for all persons who seek to fulfill their purpose and destiny, irrespective of what challenges life may bring. You are an inspiration to me and many, and indeed a phenomenal woman. May you continue to be a positive example and role model for others to follow. Your family and friends join me in congratulating and celebrating you on this joyous occasion. We are so very proud of you. And huge congratulations also to the other dynamic authors, as this is quite an achievement. You are truly women of excellence. I can't wait to read the book. Darnell, may you always be a beacon of light, and may God's light and beauty continue to shine through you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Has Latoya joined us now? Latoya, have you joined us? Okay. Let me see. I can hear you, but I can't see. Latoya, it's over to you.
Hello, hi, everybody doing?
Good.
I would like to say congratulations to everyone, and Denise, you actually changed my life today. I was going through something, and your testimony just actually inspired me, what you said. So, you know, thank you so much. You hit home with that one. So, also, Miss Lisa, you did too. I see a lot of ladies in here that I know, and I would like to say congratulations to everyone. Lily, I would like to say congratulations to you. Lily is a perfect example about how we should not have any excuses. She has been through the most. She came from a third world country, and she came here. She built a business. She wrote a book. She's doing really well. So, you know, I congratulate her. She's inspiring to not just me, to other women around the world that may feel that the situation that they're in is so bad, but she was in a horrible situation, and it shows that God is so good that he rescued her. So, you know, that just shows us that never to allow our situation to stop us from going to the next level, because she has went above and beyond. To be honest, she has went further than a lot of people that has had more opportunities than her from, you know, childhood. So I would just like to say congratulations, Lily, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak for you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. We appreciate you speaking as well. So thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So if you have got any questions, pop them in the chat box. There's 50 people waiting to answer you. Well, there's not really, there's one, but she gets through them fast. You know, so if you've got anything, pop in the chat box. We're more than happy to help with you. We've just posted the link in there. So click on the link, order your book. And we're going to try and find out if Ariel is around right now, because she's the prize master. So let's see if we can find Ariel Nicholson.
It's Courtney Bat. She's going to do the second raffle.
Courtney's going to do it, right? Okay. It's Courtney, it's over to you.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations on your book of Becoming Dynamic. I am super duper fired up and ready to start my journey on becoming Evolve, Courtney. I have something beautiful in the mix talking about my journey, and this just being in the midst of the room with all these people sharing their stories. It's just gotten me like, you know what? I am ready to be the inspiration to the inspirational. That is my mantra for my life. And I just want to go ahead and get this raffle started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
The prize is worth waiting for, so don't worry.
Okay, can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. And they want me to click. Okay. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm bad with names. Is it Abdul Rahman?
Yes, it is Abdul Rahman. Congratulations.
Yay!
And the prize this time is £100 Amazon gift card.
$100 US.
$100 US. You see, I can't get away. I can't give you a car. I can't give you pounds. We have to go for dollars, you know. So $100. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. So we put the wheel away for another time, which is really, really good. Okay, let's move on then. So we're now going to speak with Margaret Packer. Margaret, are you on the call?
I'm here.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
I'm coming out. Hey, that's how I feel. I want to say thank you to Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, because what you did for yourself, you've done for all of us. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Denise, for inviting me to participate with this book. And Dr. Sue, I want to say thank you to you because you helped me. You helped me. And I want to say thank you to all the co-authors. So congratulations, you guys. We're doing it. So I was one of those late people. And I wasn't doing the book because I had so much going on. My sister died earlier this year. And one of the things that I realized at the Dynamic Women Retreat was all y'all are my sisters. And that sat really deep with me. And so it was a pleasure to get this chapter written. And I'll say this, my chapter is the power of love. And I want to tell you, love makes the world go round. It really does. And I've been the one that's been behind the scenes for years. And so this, I feel like this is my first coming out. And so I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to share it with my friends and my family. And, you know, I'll say this, when you're determined to get something done, you're not afraid. So I was determined to get my chapter out. And that's it. And I'm going to say thank you.
Excellent, excellent. You know, and it is, you know, for anyone listening to this for the first time, you know, just keep taking one step at a time. One step at a time. You know, there's plenty of people to help you. You don't have to do the big leap. One step at a time, that actually gives you foundation. That means you're going to build on something strong. So, you know, just one step, just do it. Just have to do it. Anastasia, we got Anastasia. Let me see.
Hey, it's Anastasia. I'm here, Ian.
Oh, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just tell you a little bit about you. You are the author of A to Z, The Best Me, a television host, transformational speaker, medium coach, has over 70,000 hours of public speaking experience and filmed over 750 episodes of live TV in the last 5 years. Wow, you've been busy. It's over to you.
Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much, Denise. Thank you to my sister authors for just having this space again. Like, I've been all smiles this entire time just to reconnect with you, even virtually, because of the love we share. And that's created by Lisa and her amazing team, but of course also people like Danita and staples like Margaret and Moshe and the others that you see there cheering with her, who all just hold space for us to do this, right? And to heal and to work together. And it is a beautiful thing. In the book, I talk about a story of me almost drowning as a child. And in it, I talk about, you know, how hard it was to catch my breath. And I think as dynamic women, and all of you are that, whether you recognize it or not, and it's not just dynamic women, right? The book is called Becoming Dynamic, Ian, because men like you are dynamic too, right? And I think as dynamic people, the meaning of dynamic is about constant change, constant acceleration. But the concept is that even though it's a constant change, you're always moving forward. In this particular story that I share about almost drowning, I talk about having to literally fight because there was someone that was pulling me underneath the water. And this constant tussle that we had for me to get back up just to breathe air. You know, you can talk about wanting to breathe, taking a deep breath so that you can calm your mind and your senses. But if something's on top of you and weighing you down, Ian, it's hard to grasp a breath, right? Because the more you try to breathe under the water, the more that your lungs are being filled. And I think that as dynamic people, we have to recognize that no matter how good we feel today, because the change is constant in being dynamic, we may have a day when we feel like we can't breathe again. So what do we reach for? How do we hold out for hope? How do we shout out for someone that we need help, and then be aggressive enough about wanting to stay alive that we do whatever it takes to fight for ourselves? And so I hope that people will see that not only in my chapter, but in all the stories of the women who have gone before. Even on this call right now, I am managing some serious emotional baggage that is threatening to try to drown me. But I see sisters like you and know that I can fight through it. I know that I can take this book and have a resource at my hand to help me get through it. And that's what my story is all about, making sure that we reach out for help, that we call for it, and then we have the faith and the tenacity to fight through it. So I just want to leave you all with that, to thank Denise, to thank my sisters for helping me to realize that I was not the only one that was late, that I was not the only one that almost didn't send something in. But we thank God for Denise and the fact that she was resilient enough to not let us drown, to not let us go, and to get this book done. It has been such a blessing. I just look forward to all the change that will come from this and all the people that will hold on to hope because of this. It is a blessing to call you all dynamic and to continue becoming with each of you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like, it just keeps getting like more fired up, doesn't it? You just want to say, right, I'm thinking now, who can I go and share this link with? Who do I know that really needs to see this link and download this book? You know, absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. Joy Ross. Do we have Joy Ross?
Yes, we do.
Right, okay, let me just say a little bit about you. International best-selling author, facilitator of change and personal transformation, lover of people, and also hosts Living Inside Out Today, a weekly radio show. It's over to you.
Thank you so much. I want to first thank you so much, Lisa, because my journey with this project started with my connection to you. And my story has really been one of having an aligned yes, and aligned connection, and aligned community. I didn't know who Lisa was before 2020. And somehow things aligned in my life that connected me with her I Am the Change Summit in 2020. And there was something about that. There was something about how she came across, and she spoke to my soul. She spoke to my spirit, and I had a yes, yes, yes to her. And there was something that said to me, Joy, you need that woman in your life, and that woman is going to be a part of your journey in pursuing your call and your purpose. So I stuck with Lisa. I stuck on the campus. And I met Jackie, and we were in program together. NA and I were in a program, and I was in different programs with many women on this campus. And I was executive coaching with Lisa at the time of last year's Dynamic Women's Retreat. And I really wanted to go. And Lisa said, you know what, we've got one spot. And Denise, I think that may have been the spot that you ended up taking, because I wanted to go. And then something happened in my family with my mom. And I made a choice to not say no, but to say not now, maybe not now. It's not for me, because I wanted to stay and be with my mom. And I'm seeing now how God orchestrates things, because in my heart, I still felt connected. And I remember when Denise reached out to me, I had gone through a loss in my family like 24 hours prior. And I wanted to show up for that call. Denise, you remember this. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to cancel, because that's not who I am. I'm going to be strong. And literally 60 seconds into my first call with Denise, tears started flowing. I was so embarrassed. I said, oh my gosh, Denise, this is not who I am. I'm a strong woman. I don't react like this. And I remember Denise said, sis, you could take your cape off. And she began to speak to me as if she had known me all of my life. And she prayed with me on that call. And I knew right then that, oh, this is something big. I knew then that this was a divine orchestration, right? It was a divine connection. And my whole experience has just been really beautiful. The sisterhood, I have never worked on a project like this with so many women. And on every call, it was just such love. It was just such deep connection. And we prayed on those Zoom calls, and I've connected individually with many of the women. I haven't yet had the pleasure of getting to know all of you, but the ones that I have connected with, I have just really been brought to my knees, because I see the hand of God. And when I read our book a few weeks ago, page by page, cover to cover, and I read all of our stories, I cried, not because of the pain that we've all been through, but because I saw the hand of God. I saw how he orchestrated our lives, and there were so many common themes in our stories. And I said, whoa, look at God. Look at what's possible in the lives of people who simply say yes, in the lives of people who have faith. A little bit of faith, who just get up every day and say, I'm going to take one step today. And so that's been my journey, has been a beautiful one. And I'm so grateful because I know that I'm in the right place at the right time. And I know that it was divinely orchestrated for all of us, for all of our stories to be put together in a beautiful mosaic. This is the artistry, the artwork of God. I see him in all of it. And you ladies are so beautiful. And this is just the beginning. I can't wait to see what happens in the next chapters of our journey. And I cannot wait to see all the stories that come out of all the lives that are going to be touched, all these proceeds that are going to motivating the teen spirit from the ebook downloads, all of the teens that are going to be touched. What a blessing. What an honor. And I'm just filled with gratitude and love. Denise, you are my sister. I love you so much. I feel like I've known you all of my life. Lisa Nichols, you are beyond words. You mean so much to me. You've had such a huge impact on my life, and our journey is not over either. So I'm so excited to see what's next.
Wow. Oh, I'm just speechless. Like, fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing with us. We really appreciate that. I think next we've got a video for Twyla. Do we have a video, Denise? We have no sound.
I think you're muted and it's muting the.
To the point, I want to take a few minutes to share with you my experience of writing my section in the book. Honestly, it was challenging. This was the first time I had written anything like this since my college essays, which was a few years ago. So I began by putting words on paper, lots of words, to the point that I didn't know if I was telling one story or three stories. So I took a pause. I reached out to a sister friend who's also a co-author in the book. And we sat and she helped me flesh out the one story that I was attempting to write. So then I went back and for several days, continued to work on my story and add texture and examples to highlight or bring the story to life. After doing that, I still needed another set of eyes. So I reached out to my daughter, who then looked at it, made great suggestions, made some more editing suggestions. And then I think after the second time of having a different person look at it, I felt comfortable to be able to hand it off to the editor to make it look pretty. Then now when I look back and I think about the entire experience, I'm grateful that I was able to participate with the other ladies to share their stories. And I also realized that I believe now that my story is important for other people who may have gone through similar situations that I've gone through, but to show them or be an example that life happens and things going to happen in your life, but that you can continue to press on and create whatever life you choose to lead. So I think that's my parting message to anyone who's gone through difficult times in life.
Okay, wow. It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, next up, Terri. Terri Wade.
Hello. Thanks,
okay,
Ian.
I'm going to say something about you first. You have won tonight's card. Oh, no, that's not you. No, it's okay. Sorry. Terri Wade, professional speaker, the founder of the Lady Entrepreneur Society, the host of Tuesdays with Terri, and author of the forthcoming book, A to Z, Happy. She is a former business professor. She has an MBA and is certified in spiritual life coaching and 21st century leadership skills. Wow, we can't wait to hear from you. It's over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone who's here celebrating with us the ebook launch. This is so awesome. I just want to thank God first and foremost, always, for life, unconditional love, and then also Denise and Lisa Nichols for just having the vision. So my story, it's chapter 1, it's called Moving from Victimhood to Empowered Dynamic Woman. And so one of the points that I have in here is, so I have 3 steps in my story that I have, and one of it's environment. And it's so important that we put ourselves in an environment like this around dynamic women, because they help you fuel the, your flame, that flame that you have, just fuel it so you can really let your light shine, because the world needs more light. There's so much darkness in the world. And so we need each other to really, bring out the best in each other. And I feel like that's what this book does. It shares the stories. It really, what I learned is that to be vulnerable, really to be vulnerable. And I never wanted to be vulnerable because I felt like being vulnerable was weak. I felt like if you were vulnerable and you shared those dark, sad, low moments that you had, that, I don't know, like you were just weaker. But now I learned that it makes you so strong, and it really helps you to connect with one another. So we all know Lisa Nichols here, and it's really her story is what all touched our hearts. It makes us want to cry. And then not only just her story, but then how she, became that empowered dynamic woman. So it's like, man, if she can do it, then I can do it. And so reading all of your stories, I was definitely brought to tears, just like Joy was saying. We've all just gone through so much, and it makes you realize you never know what people are going through. Like when you see someone on the street, they could be, just lost someone in their life that, was so important to them, or, so it's just like, you never know who's going through what. And so it's like, when you can hold your own power and understand, the power that you have. And like Margaret knows, our power is love. We are just the pure presence of love. And so we put so many blocks to that love presence. And so it's like, when you can put yourself in an environment of dynamic women that believe in you, that encourage you, that want to see that they do see the best in you. And then they have you see the best in you because they see it, you start to believe it. And then it's just like wildfire that just takes off. It's really a beautiful thing. So that's, that was just a lot of my journey of going through the book, is being able to be vulnerable, which is like really uncomfortable for me at first, to be vulnerable, because I want to, present myself in a way that's professional and, like to the world. And so for me to share those darker parts of me, it was like, made me a little bit nervous. So we'll see the feedback from my friends and family, because some of them don't even know the stories, because I didn't want to present that, as myself. I just wanted to like show the pretty, the pretty sides, but we got all of it. And it really helps us to connect and feel the oneness that we really all are, that, we're all imperfect, like Lisa Nichols was saying, and we have to be our own rescue. So purposely putting ourselves in these situations, like the Dynamic Women's Retreat. I didn't know what to expect when I was going there, but like Denise, I got the nudge, like, you need to be there. So it was just like, okay, just following those, divine nudges from God, and taking it and feeling worthy enough. Like I deserve to live a dynamic, empowered life, and then really following those action, the intuition to just living your best life possible. So thank you so much, Denise, and all the co-authors. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here and celebrating with us as well, too.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. That was like so powerful. Making yourself vulnerable has always been a hard thing, but it is just so important. It's so important to become you, which is great. Do we have Nikki Servatus?
I am here.
Madame, okay. And you were going to speak about Margaret Packer.
I am. Dr. Sue's screen is up. Did she know that? That she's sharing her screen right now?
No. Whose screen have we seen? Oh, that.
Hello, hello, hello. So I am super, super excited for all of you. So for those I have personally been able to meet during the Dynamic Women Retreat, I was a participant, and I've had the honor and the privilege to serve on the team for a few years now. And it's been amazing to see you guys come in, and then transition and then come out, and now look at what you've produced. Congratulations to everyone. I'm here for myself and Anthony, but also here to celebrate MJ. I'm gonna make this really short and sweet because I'm packing to prepare to go to the Bahamas. So I'm doing a lot of stuff in the background. As you all know, the people that are on the team, but MJ, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin with you, but I know that it was divine. Joy said some things that just really, I didn't get really emotional until Joy started saying God's hand and all of that, you know, but Margaret, you are a prayer warrior. Margaret, you are such an amazing woman of God. And for me, that was a yes all the way. For me, when you came to the church that Lisa spoke to, I didn't even know who she was, y'all, but Margaret was there. Margaret has walked through many, many years with Lisa. And so to know that she's held that space, you know, where we don't even know, but Lisa, her get up because she had Margaret there. I think that's very important to acknowledge and to honor, because we all need a Margaret. And in your family, while you're doing that, taking care of your kids, taking care of your husbands through life's transitions up and down, and still coming with the gift of love. When I think about you, I think about the fruit of the Spirit, love. I don't care where you are, as soon as you smile, everyone's just like, Margaret's here, right? And we can just sigh relief. So I celebrate you. I celebrate and honor you, sis. I celebrate and honor all of you. Please continue to pray for us as we usher in for the next sisters to transition, praying that the Holy Spirit shuts it down, y'all, that they have such a healing, transformational time that they don't even know what happened. Like, get rid of the run of show. Y'all know I'm on fire anyway as it goes in. But this is phenomenal. And to be in this space, to know that your story will for generations, you know, it will set the trajectory to change generations. It's just started with you opening up your mouth and saying yes. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna get off so I can finish. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Have a safe journey. Have a safe journey. Do we have Ambrosine? Ambrosine?
Ian, I am here and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. Ian, it's my pleasure to congratulate all of these women today, and I'm especially proud. I am especially proud of my sister Anastasia. We call her Star for short, ladies on the call. And as long as I've known her, she has been a star. She has been a dynamic woman. And I'm always so amazed and just so inspired by how my sister continues to transform, how she continues to develop, adding so many different things to her repertoire, but always showing up in excellence. Some of the things I've taken already from her story, even though I've known her all of her life, I've already taken from her story the power and the significance of how we have to change how we think, how we have to ensure that we continue to be positive no matter what's before us. That's how we become dynamic. That's how we stay agile. And from all the other authors, we've heard so much today about just how all of our stories mean something to someone. And I just take that with me every time Star is doing something else. I take that with me as her older sister, but learning so much from her wisdom, her poise, her grace, her transparency, and her willingness, her true commitment to developing people and ensuring that we become stars ourselves. So I just say congratulations to her. I say congratulations to all the women that have shared with us. I am so looking forward to delving into each of your stories. And I just want to thank you all for pushing past your vulnerabilities, pushing past your fears, and giving this to the world, because I know I will become more dynamic through having read through this book. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. We really appreciate you taking time out. Thank you. Kim Bowl-Reese. Kim Bowl-Reese? No?
Here.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm here. Yes. It gives me really a great pleasure to congratulate my sister, Joy Ross. And I can tell you that when she steps in the room, that the spirit, she's very effervescent, and her spirit helps reduce tension. And so I want to let you know, some of you already know her, that she is a woman wrapped, her words are wrapped in dignity and faith, and she's a God-fearing woman. And that's what I've learned from her within these 2 years, as I've watched her grow, that she leans in courageously to change. And she leans in, Joy, that when you look at people, I would say Sawubona, you see them for who they are. You see them for what they can become. So that is an inspiration to me. And so I wanted to just congratulate you in this endeavor, and congratulate you and the women as well, as when people read this book, that they will see that there is a light within themselves that is shining brightly. Whether they see it or not, it's within. So continue with the work. It is greater than all of us. We, the village, congratulate you all. We stand with you and we love you. And so thank you for giving me this opportunity, along with our sister Kiami. Listen, the village, we're behind you guys, and we champion you all. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary Ann Shelton. Do we have Mary Ann Shelton? Not at the moment. Mr. James Wade. Mr. James Wade. Do you know Terri Wade?
That's my pops. I saw him. I think
I do. Hello.
Oh, hi.
How are you doing today?
Good.
I've had an opportunity to read a few chapters of the book, and one of the things it has shown me is that people have resiliency. You are able to have a tragedy occur to you, or something that really impacts your life, but you don't let it define you. And reading this book has definitely shown me that there are some very strong individuals out there that do not let one incident or factors in their life define what they're going to be. They persevere, they overcome, and they become better people because of it. That's one of the things I saw in reading my daughter's passage or chapter in the book. So I do congratulate all of the individuals that submitted chapters in this book. I believe that you all very strong individuals. You've all helped others in realizing that you're not defined by one thing that happens in your life, and that you can always overcome. So congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to my daughter. I love you.
Wow, thank you, thank you. Now, before the night finishes, I am going to cry. I can tell you, it's getting closer and closer and closer. You know, it's like, whoa, whoa. Okay, next we're going to Dr. Sue to read an excerpt from her chapter. So, Dr. Sue, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. My chapter is chapter 3, Greatness is Your Birthright. I was born in 1951, the 8th child in a family of 10 children. I grew up in the Deep South during the height of American apartheid, when Negro and colored were the terms of the day. My daddy went to prison for killing a man shortly after I was born, and left Mama with a house full of children to raise. To say that we were extremely poor would be an understatement. However, Mama was innately intelligent and extremely resourceful, and somehow she kept us all together. Mama made sure that we were never hungry or without clothes, and we always had a place to stay. She was like a big protective bear who kept guard over her children. She was a strict disciplinarian and did everything in her power to impart wisdom to us. Mama hovered over us and around us around the clock, keeping us safe until we could take care of ourselves. As I look back over my life, I stand amazed at my accomplishments and the number of college degrees I have attained. Given my family history, I was not supposed to do any of the things that I have done. Against all odds, this little Black girl who grew up in the South, whose daddy was a convicted murderer, and whose mother was a field worker and an uneducated maid, finished high school. That little Black girl even went beyond and attended college, completed 5 degrees, including a JD and a PhD. In each instance, I, that little Black girl, was one of the first African Americans to integrate and graduate from these institutions. When I think of a dynamic woman, I think of a woman like me, one who has risen from humble beginnings. While each woman must arrive at her own definition, these are my thoughts. Shorn of titles, degrees, accolades, and masks, the dynamic woman is secure in her relationship with God. She knows the power of prayer. She is perfect in her imperfection and loves herself just as she is, even as she strives to become a better person. She is not afraid to be her authentic self, even when doing so is not pretty or popular. The dynamic woman feels connected to humanity. She moves through life sharing love and doing good wherever she goes. She strives to embody peace. She is committed to being a light in a world that is filled with darkness. The dynamic woman is spiritually resilient. She is no stranger to life's ups and downs or to its toils, troubles, and traumas. She has been broken in more ways than she can count and put back together in more places than she can remember. Though she is sometimes beaten down to the ground, the dynamic woman learns from each experience and never gives up. She derives strength from her faith and knows that God will never leave her or forsake her, regardless of what life brings. Though the winds of fear and trepidation may blow, and the clouds of confusion and uncertainty may reign, the dynamic woman steps boldly into her greatness and plays fully out. She is clear on her purpose and knows her goals. She is in life for the long haul. I am a dynamic woman. I stand on my mother's shoulders. Greatness is my birthright. Today, I embrace it. I encourage you to do the same.
Wow, absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. That's going to encourage so many other people to start reading this book. You know, it's going to be like, whoa. Okay, Annie, would you like to share your take on becoming a dynamic person?
Wow. First of all, thank you, Dr. Sue. Thank you for that. Ooh. In the words of Anais Nin, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. I think a dynamic woman knows that it's worth the risk it takes to blossom. See, I like to think of life as a book with different seasons split into chapters. A dynamic woman knows when she's reached the end of one chapter and when it's time for her to start another. But sometimes life happens. Life happens, and a dynamic woman may hit a turning point in her life that she didn't see coming. And she may lie in bed for days, crying, asking God, why me, Lord? I cannot do this. A dynamic woman may feel that she cannot get up and take one step. She may have to be dragged, pulled, kicking and screaming. But here's the thing. A dynamic woman will get up and try one more time. See, I shared in the book a turning point in my life that I didn't see coming. I shared about having suffered a business failure that left me and my family well out of my depth and well in debt. Over 20 years ago, I suffered a monumental financial crisis that left us over £120,000 British sterling in debt. Now, at that time, that may well have been £10 million. I didn't see a way out. For many nights, for many days, I stayed in bed with my curtains drawn, thinking of how I had gotten me and my family, who didn't deserve this, into this mess. I didn't see a way out. For many nights, I thought that my family was better off with me not being here. I suffered all shades of guilt, all shades of shame, all shades of failure, all shades of unworthiness. They didn't deserve this. I almost took myself out of the game. But I am a dynamic woman. Eventually, I got up and I tried one more time. You see, sometimes we suffer situations, we suffer challenges, we experience difficult challenges that we think are so huge that they have the potential to break us. We feel that we haven't got the skills, the experience to get up and try again. But we're dynamic. One day, we'll find the strength to get up and try one more time. So maybe this is you. Maybe today you're experiencing a situation or a series of situations that you feel you haven't got the strength to deal with. You wonder why you. I'm here to tell you that you are dynamic and you have the ability to get up tomorrow and try one more time. How do you do that? Imagine that you are given a beautiful pen. It fits perfectly in your fingers and it writes smoothly. Now you're told that beauty is not the only attribute of this fine pen. What happened? Am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, thank you. I lost you for a second. I'm not sure where I stopped. You're told that beauty is not the only attribute of this fine pen. It is a magic pen, custom made just for you. Now, because of its magical powers, it has only one purpose, and that is to be used to write the story of your life from today onwards. Knowing that you are the author of the story that runs your life, what story would you write? Would you write about your failures, your past mistakes, your pains? Would you keep nailing yourself down in chains? Would you say, I stumbled, I fell, beaten and broken, confused, lost, weary and shaken? I thought I was worthless, laden with defects, until a voice said, your imperfections make you perfect. You are unique with your scars and your bruises, but without these, you couldn't fulfill your uses. Your voice, your past, your strength are your powers that give you wings to share your story of conquer. A student of life, you wear the crown with glory. And now, with your pen, you get to write your own story. So I ask again, knowing that you are the author of the story that runs your life, what story would you write?
Wow, thank you, Annie. That's so powerful. I was riveted, absolutely riveted. It's like, oh, fuck. We're going to get tears before the end of the night. We really are. It's getting closer and closer and closer. It's like, oh, back. Here we go. Let me just check. Thank you so much. Now, do we have John Tellerico on the call? Has John Tellerico joined the call? Can we see him?
We do, Ian. Good to see you, sir.
So let me just tell you quick about John Tellerico. He is one of the world's top coaches and mentors. He has a Rolodex that we'd all want and pay millions of pounds for, you know, and he is a massive, massive champion of anyone who he comes across. And I know he's a champion for Denise. So John, would you like to share a few words with us?
Absolutely, Ian. Thank you so much. Great to see all you powerful, beautiful women, and Velbert as well. I see you snuck in there, Velbert. Huh? I don't know. And Ian, of course, he's always hosting any events. But it is an honor, truly, to be here. Congratulations to all you ladies. And is it only women in the book, Ian? Forgive me, you guys. It is. Okay. Yeah. Congratulations to all you amazing, powerful, beautiful, magnificent women. And one in particular, she has been an absolute star from the moment I met her. Denise Nicholson has just soared when we first met. She was, you guys could mute yourself, please. Karen, thank you. From the time I first met her, she was on a mission to change people's lives through the pen and through her work. And she continues to do that, Ian, with all her stuff that she's doing. She is a powerful leader and is impacting lives all over the world. She has definitely impacted my life. Not only was she a client, but she's become a very close personal friend. And I would have not missed this for the world to be here to be part of her celebration today, Ian. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, John. We really appreciate you taking time out as well, you know, and I know John personally as well, and he's a truly inspirational guy. So we appreciate you because we know how busy you are, giving your time up. We really do, you know. So we now move on to give the car away. Oh no, we can't give the car just yet. It's still being filled up with fuel, you know. So Dr. Denise, do you just want to talk about the incubator challenge?
Certainly. Oh my goodness. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has poured out their soul. You came in and supported us. You came in, supported your friend. You came in and you thought you were just coming to support us. But now you realize that you're supposed to be in this room. You thought that you were just coming to be here for a sister that you love, a mother that you love. And then you heard a message that was prepared. So there is no coincidence why you're here. There is no coincidence that you are in this room at this moment, during this time. There was a message for you. And now I'm going to ask you to take that message and act on it. Be the person that you are called to be. Be great. Take that message and build that school. Build that bridge. Connect with that person that you don't want to speak to anymore. Connect with that person that you think what they have done to you is unforgivable. But now you know life is too short. And if you wait another moment, you will miss your opportunity to impact and change someone's life. This is your time. This is your season of greatness, your season to pour into someone else because you were poured into, or this is your season to pour into yourself. Learn a little more. Keep someone accountable. Be accountable. Be a sister friend. Be a brother friend. I have so many great support in my life. And because of that support, I can stand on my story. I can thrive because I have so many people rooting for me. I just want to say a special thank you to each and every one of you authors. Now, I can't leave without saying a special thank you to Dr. Sue, because Dr. Sue was the writing coach that I needed for you guys. Whoever I couldn't handle, Dr. Sue was like, let me at him. As a matter of fact, she stepped in without being asked. And that is a sister. They know when to step in and have your back. And I have plenty of sisters like that. And now I have more. I just want to say a special thank you to NAOB for answering the call to becoming the writing incubator. Because of that decision, she's now led me into this other space where I can say, I am the editor of an anthology, and it feels so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Annie. Now, if you have a story, if you have a message that's been tugging at your heart, each and every one of you are invited to join the Writing Incubator Challenge. If you're interested, put your information in the chat. Someone will reach out to you. Thank you for showing up today and being the I got your back friend. We all need that. We all need that friend that no matter what's going on, they're going to be there for you. You see the girlfriend, she was in the car. She was taking her cat to the vet. She pulled over. She's got her friend back. I got you. We all need that friend that says, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth, girl. Don't do that. That's not right. You were wrong. We need that. And I think I have found even more of that because I've had those friends in my life and I've got more. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you. And I can't wait to see the great books that come out from you guys that are here today. Thank you, John.
Well, thank you, Denise. And don't forget, put your details in the chat box. I know from the people I've recommended to Denise that she'll transform your life. She will absolutely transform your life. If you've got a story, she'll help you share it. You know, and so many of these stories people need to hear, because I'm sitting here tonight, it's one after another, after another, after another. It's like so powerful. No ego, just loads of powerful we're here to share. So I would congratulate every single one of you and congratulate yourselves as well. And I know just before we go, Denise is trying to get out this car thing. Well, we're going to do the final draw, you know? But she said, let me tell them what the price is. It's not a car.
And
Denise,
then we'll have a quick closing ceremony, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yes. So Denise, do you want to share what the prize is?
Wait, we have to see what the girls in the Bahamas have for us.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Want to do it now? We should do the raffle and then.
Okay, go ahead. Do the raffle.
Okay, who's doing the raffle this time?
I'm picking. I don't have a spinning wheel. I'm going to pick the first person who joined the Zoom call was Bradley William. Is Bradley William in the room?
He's probably not, but that's my friend. I know who he is.
Sorry, you got to be in it to
I
win
might,
it.
I don't know. He might be.
Bradley, if you're here, Now is the time. Answer the call, Bradley.
She'll take it for us.
We're waiting for you.
Brandy says she'll take it.
I'll take it to him. No, I think he had to drop off.
One more try. Tina Carey. Is Tina Carey in the house?
Tina!
Come on, Tina.
No.
Is Jessica Doyle? I hope I said your name.
Yes, I'm here.
Up in here, we have a winner.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Brandy. I love you. And congratulations to all the wonderful women. This has been so impactful. So I am looking forward to reading all the good stories, and I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
reveal what the prize was now.
Yes, so Jessica Doyle, you get one of the hard copy book. You also get $100 from Amazon, and you get a week absolutely free in the Writing Incubator Challenge.
Come on, Jesus. Thank you so much.
Wow, well done. Okay, let's go to the Bahamas now.
Ian, I'll
In the
take
Bahamas. Hello, everyone. So Lisa's here in spirit. She's on a client call, but she got these, it says DW, they're little mini cupcakes, and they have candles on them. So as I light a candle in closing, I would like for everyone to put in chat what they dedicate the candle to. So I'll light the first one, and this is for all the unborn children and women that will read this book and be inspired for decades to come. Type in chat and I'll read yours. Wanna say one?
Yes, I dedicate this book to every person that is hurt so deeply that they didn't recognize their own dynamic power and that they will become dynamic.
I dedicate this book to all their mothers who imparted so much to us, and the ones who have now passed on, and who gave us the courage to step forth and be an inspiration to others. Can we go on the chat? Hold on, we're getting to the chat. To resiliency.
Yes. To phenomenal women.
Beautiful.
To global love.
I love that. Across religion and races.
To loving me and letting my light shine.
To every woman who gets back up, time and time again.
To healed hearts.
To women's empowerment.
I dedicate this book to seeing the beauty in the end of seasons and moving on with peace and joy.
To healing through love. Ooh.
To fulfillment in love.
To unity.
To the power to push and be productive this year.
I dedicate this book for all of the people who need to find love in themselves. I dedicate this book to all 5th grade teachers who believe in future writers, even though their penmanship is horrible. I love that, Sharon.
I dedicate this book to self-care and self-love.
As to realizing what beautiful, powerful beings we all are. To sisterhood and women supporting women around the world. To owning your greatness.
To peace and acceptance throughout the world.
And with that, here is the dedication to new beginnings with the dynamic, becoming dynamic for all of the dynamic women in the world, and also our kings, our men that support us in all ways, facets. Ian, thank you for supporting this movement. Your presence made a difference. And to all the men that are listening and will listen to the replay, for all the fathers, the husbands, the uncles, the brothers, the sons, this is for you as well. And with that, we'll blow out the candle and let all the beautiful intentions go throughout the world. Ready? Blow with me, friends. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Woo! Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Such powerful. This has been such a powerful evening. It really has. It's been absolute. I think it's one of the, I do lots of book launches. I think this has been one of the most powerful book launches I've ever been involved with. You know, absolutely incredible. You know what? And this event has been blessed because 24 hours ago, I was asked, can you MC this? This be 2 of you. Yes, that's fine then. Well, it wasn't quite like that, but yeah, I can do it. Then I get another phone call. There's only 1 of you now. The person can't make it. How many speakers are there going to be? 20. What? You know? And you know what? It's okay, Lord, you better walk me through this. You better be with me tonight because I only usually have 6 or 7 weeks to prepare. And we're going to do it in less than 24 hours. And I think it has been a huge success. But the reason it's been a huge success is because of you, every single one of you, every single author and every single guest. All I can recommend to you is go and buy the book if you haven't already got it. Go and share it with everyone you know, because I'm just hearing snippets. You know, I'm going to get the book. I'm definitely going to get the book, and I'm going to share it with women in my life. I really am, because I think it's so, so powerful. Everyone needs to get a copy of this book. So if you haven't got one, order yourself one. If you have got one, tell your friend to order one, because this, without a doubt, is going to be Amazon's #1 bestseller, international bestseller. I guarantee it. No one else has got a book like this with so much power. 20 super talented people are prepared to say, I'm vulnerable and I'm going to share it with you. That is so, so powerful. And I just pray for every single one of you, you know, that you actually move forward and that you have an absolutely amazing, incredible, beautiful life. That's what I pray for each and every single one of you. Yeah. Denise, it's over to you to close the meeting.
What a beautiful dedication from the ladies in Bahamas. That just touched me. And I know this is divine because I had planned to do a light exercise, and then I was going back and forth with it. But then when I saw this, I was like, look at God. You just always have a lamb caught in the bushes. And so he's always prepared. This is bigger than me. I know everybody says, thank you, Denise, but this is so much bigger than me. I just want to say a special thank you to my sister-in-law, Karen, because when I saw you in the room, my heart was filled with joy. I knew you were going to be here for me no matter what. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone that showed up, and for people who couldn't show up because, you know, something else that was more important got to you and you needed to be there, but you were sending love and you were sending prayers and you were purchasing our book. And now we are #1. We are #1. I just received the text and somebody captured us, and we are #1 Amazon bestseller. And I appreciate every one of you, for the people that worked with the book, the authors that contributed, for the people that work behind the scenes. There's so many people that work behind the scenes that you guys have no idea. To Lisa Nichols, my God, you are so gracious. You are so giving. You are so kind, and you are so healing. Continue to bless people with your brilliant mind. You have made such an impact and such a difference in so many different people's lives. Continue to stand strong, and may we continue to support you as you pour from your cup. May we continue to give to you. I just want to say thank you to my husband and to my family. You guys have been a rock. I couldn't be who I am without your love and support. To the Knitted Together girls, I see you up in here and it just makes me so happy. Thank you for your support. Thank you to Margaret. Margaret, you know how instrumental you were to having this done. Oh my God, Danita, I know how many phone calls, how many text messages. I know how hard you work Well, I know a little bit. I know how important this was for you. And even when you were like, I'm not dynamic, girl, I can't do that, but I'm going to get all these other things done for you. I knew you had it in you. I just want to say thank you, Ian. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. We did have 2 MCs, and then all of a sudden the other person had an emergency and couldn't come. And I was like, Ian, it's only you. And he was like, okay, Denise. And so I just want to say thank you. I am forever grateful. Thank you to Joy Ross, because she had the prayer team, and we've been praying about this book and for this book and for the authors of this book and for the readers to be impacted and for the people that need the message to get it. So thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you, Jackie. Where my girl at? Thank you so much, Jackie. You are a wonderful blessing, and it means so much that you have sprinkled your love in this and helped me to make this possible. I want to say thank you to Terri Wade. Oh my goodness, you guys have no idea how Terri was behind the scenes making things happen, unfolding, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to Twyla. You've been more than a big help to me. I really appreciate it. I couldn't have done it without you. I want to say, let's send a prayer for Kadeen Matthews Smith. She is in the audience. I don't know her, but she reached out and said that her sister was going through it. Girl, when a sister is going through it, we come together, we form a circle of love, and we pray you up. So we are going to pray you up. So everyone, all the prayer warriors, keep Kadeen Matthews Smith in your prayers so that her sister gets the healing and the support that she needs. I don't know if I missed anyone, please forgive me. I love you. It is not because because I'm not grateful for you. It is because I am exhausted and I am just so thrilled and excited, and there's so much emotions going on. But I just want to say a special final thank you to all the people that are on their journey becoming dynamic. Bye-bye. We're gonna save the video and send it out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh,
Bye,
Gary
everyone.
Davis.
Bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much from
Love
the
you
beginning.
all.
Gary was
Bye,
like,
everybody.
Gary was like, girl,
Bye,
we
everyone.
need
Thank you, Denise.
contracts for
Thank
these.
you,
Everybody
Brittany.